So I know that by now a ton of people have already seen this, but people have been asking me to do commentary on this, so I figured it's time. Ladies and gentlemen, after at least a good solid month of Owen personally attacking him and calling him all sorts of names and just being the usual bully scumbag that Owen is. Alex Jones finally called out Owen for being the anti-Semite that he is, and it was beautiful, beautiful. So anyway, I've got the clip queued up. This is from Monday show, and this is in context of Alex is talking about the shooter in California and how law enforcement stepped up to stop the guy. As I mentioned on Saturday's show, we're very grateful, and we should all thank you know the officer, the border patrol agent who stopped that sick, degenerate madman. But Alex talks about the danger of anti-Semitism here, and again calls out Owen Benjamin on his shit. This is awesome.
And it's such an illustration when you go online and YouTube leaves up all these accounts. And I say, fine, leave them up. I believe in free speech, even though I disagree with it. They leave David Duke's account up, which, by the way, is tame compared to some of these accounts with people saying Hitler's good and saying kill all the Jews. And then, of course, the very same accounts say that I am a sellout to Israel and that Steven Crowder is a sellout to Israel. And it's very, very hurtful because I don't say kill all the Muslims, even though I disagree with Islam. I don't say kill all the Mexicans, even though there are a lot of illegal Mexicans coming in. There's a lot of great Mexicans. You can't sit there and say a religion or a group of people, every one of them is bad. And then from what I know about Israel and what I know about Jews on average is that they're very diverse. I mean, you've got the Hasidic Jews and a bunch of subsects. You've got Orthodox, and you've got liberal, and you've got Reformed, and you've got agnostic, and you've got that strain of Jews that are communists, just like you've got that in other groups. But it's just such a mental illness that there's a whole religion giving magical powers to Jews. You know, if anything, I've been persecuted by Jewish groups, by the ADL, by the Southern Poverty Law Center. It's got a lot of political leftist Jews in it. And their job is to sow racial division and discord and to demonize America and capitalism as racism. And so there are some really mean, evil, bad leftists out there, and some of them happen to be Jews. But I'm not going to sink to their leftist race-based level.
Yep, and that is something I completely agree with, by the way. There are Jews out there that are on the radical left. The left, in and of itself, is a religion. And it is a cult. It is a godless religion. And so everything Alex is saying here, I agree with 100%. I've been saying this for years, and well, at least for the last 2 to 3 years, really since the alt-right has come around.
And teach all their race division like they do. I believe Martin Luther King, and it's about what ideas you have and what you stand for. But I'll say this to all of the people that bash Jews 24/7 like it's a little treat, little special goodie they're putting out.
Oh shit, here it's coming. Here it comes.
They've never made films about the USS Liberty being an Israeli false flag that LBJ was involved in as well to bring us into a war. That happened. And I've interviewed Jews that were involved in their own military and said it was wrong. Governments do that sometimes. It's bad.
Yep.
All major governments do it. It's wrong. Just like torture. All governments tend to do it. It's bad. But the very people that say I'm this Israeli operative, like a fetish, like a trophy they have all day long, because they're really just jealous of how hard we work and what we've built, never attack Trump as an Israeli operative. Even though he thinks Israel's a lot better than turning it over to the Muslims, and he likes Netanyahu and likes having a friend in the region. They buy a lot of our weapons and a lot of our products. And if you turn it over to the Muslims, they'd all be killing each other in about an hour. It's very sad. And Saudi Arabia doesn't take one Palestinian in. But
Also true. Carry on, Alex. You're doing great, buddy.
Israel's supposed to. But notice, Trump's daughter is married to an Orthodox Jew, Jared Kushner. Trump's vehemently pro-Israel, and you never hear a word out of the QAnon group saying I'm an Israeli agent. Because they can't take Trump on. They've got to siphon off and claim they speak for Trump. And then Pence is with some sheriff's deputies that mean well, and not everybody involved in the Q movement's bad. A lot of them are good. They do some Q thing, and then Pence sees it and deletes it. And I'm not in competition with the, quote, nebulous, anonymous Q thing. It's like the anonymous internet situation. People said, are you for anonymous 10 years ago? And I said, I can dress up in a Guy Fawkes mask and put out anonymous stuff on anonymous channels. You never know it's me. I could put out whatever I wanted. Do you just trust some anonymous thing? Now, if some anonymous source keeps giving you things that prove to be accurate, great. But most of what Q said wasn't true. Some of it was true, but only because Mueller came up empty and Trump has him by the short hairs, they had to back off. Not because Mueller was a good guy the whole time. I know for a fact Trump doesn't like Mueller. People said, oh, Sessions is really good. No, Trump genuinely didn't like Jeff Sessions and thought he was a coward. So all I'm saying is that this becomes a diversion and a distraction. Who'd you have in that conservative synagogue? A Border Patrol agent that happened to be Jewish and was trying to go for Passover to be part of his culture and his God. And then another Army veteran, decorated patriot, who had courage to stand up against that guy, and then we just say these people are crap. Let me tell you something. At the end of
God bless this Border Patrol agent. And the veteran, by the way. I'll say it again. God bless these two men. It's horrible that one person was killed. And several more were wounded. It would have been better if they had, taken the guy out. But, hey, at least they stopped this scumbag.
day, it doesn't matter if you're Christian or if you're Jewish or whether you're an agnostic. And there are a lot of Muslims, too, that a lot of Muslims would call heretics, but they want to live in peace. What matters is if you believe in free market and freedom and America and the Second Amendment and family, and you stand for that and you believe in the nation state, then we're all bound together by that. And I guarantee you, if you took the average little troll, wannabe Nazi online, and if you took them to one of these conservative synagogues and they actually met and talked to those people, you'd find smart, compelling, hardworking, good people that care about this country and understand the threat to this nation. Now, if you go to some leftist church or some leftist synagogue or some leftist mosque, you're going to find the scum of the earth that hate this country and hate the family and hate God, who've captured churches,
Yep.
and synagogues to tell us there is no God, that God is dead, because they want to be God. So it's just not reality-based. And so I challenge people out there that attack me, and I'm not responding to you because your attacks hurt me. I'm responding because I know a lot of you are just in your own form of group psychosis, groupthink. And you...
The Unbearables. He's talking about you, bears. He's talking about you. You closet leftists. You, LARPers.
really attribute magical powers to Jews like they're leprechauns or something. But you attack me because that's the popular algorithm that the left allows online. You got some anti-Semitic Alex Jones rant, baby, Google greenlights you all the way. You've got some unity situation like I promote, Google bans your ass. They don't want unity.
Yep.
I'm really trying to make things work here. But remember, the Owen Benjamins of the world, talented comedian, nice guy I had on till I found out he was saying Germany had a great leader in the early 40s. Bullcrap. Hitler was a psychotic demon. Both my grandfathers almost died fighting him. And they saw the dead bodies. They saw the piles of dead people. Don't give me that.
One of my grandfathers, my mother's stepdad, served in World War II and liberated one of the camps at Dachau. And the horrors that he saw in the war. He was at D-Day. He was at the Battle of the Bulge, and he was at Dachau, as I mentioned. Between those three battles, the shit that he saw, and the fact that he saw several of his friends get their heads blown off in front of him, it drove him to alcoholism. And I remember he's not alive anymore, but I remember being a kid and listening to him, and sometimes he would get so drunk that he would talk to me about the war. And I've always been a bit of a World War II, I wouldn't say scholar, but out of all of the wars to study, it's probably my favorite to study. I know that sounds wrong to say World War II is my favorite war. That's not what I'm not saying it's good. I'm just saying that as far as history goes, I've just always loved studying that subject. But anyway, the shit that Al saw, the shit that my step grandfather saw, you could not make up. Like the way I remember him talking on it. It was very dark, very intense. You just could not make any of this stuff up about the war. And so when I see the alt-right bashing Jews, and when I see people like Owen Benjamin and Richard Spencer, yes, I'm lumping them into the same category, talk about ethno-states and all, and all that shit, it really pisses me off. And what Alex is saying here about the alt-right is true, and what he's saying about Owen Benjamin is completely true here. This is great. Let's finish.
That I'm censoring or I sold out. No, dude, you're on YouTube. I'm not. I'm under attack and banned everywhere. They've taken my bank accounts away. The Owen Benjamins of the world, talented comedian, nice guy I had on till I found out he was saying Germany had a great leader in the early 40s. Bullcrap. Hitler was a psychotic demon. Both my grandfathers almost died fighting him. And they saw the dead bodies. They saw the piles of dead people. Don't give me that crap that I'm censoring or I sold out. No, dude, you're on YouTube. I'm not. I'm under attack and banned everywhere. They've taken my bank accounts away. They're trying to shut us down right now. I've been sued 20-something times. I'm on the front lines. I'm changing the world, and our audience is. And people like Owen sit there and say, oh, you know, Trump's great, but oh, Jones is a sellout to Israel. No, go after Trump then, but you don't have the huevos because the anti-Semites won't do it. And I'm sorry you're Jewish, you don't like your dad, Owen. Sorry you got daddy issues, bro. I don't have daddy issues with my dad. My dad's just a red-blooded American. He never told me, hey, I'm English and Irish and Scottish and American Indian. That's who we are. He brought me up that we're Americans. We believe in freedom. And that's what it came down to. Please don't forget, we're only here because of your support. We've got great products and new super sales. You can get a free...
Okay. So yeah, a fucking man, Alex. It's about American ideas, not about ethnic ideas. Screw the unbearables, and screw you, Owen Benjamin. You Nazi-loving piece of shit.